Welcome back, gang. So I put this in front of the fan for about 5 minutes, and as you can see, it's dry to the touch. Right, so be careful handling this. Reintroducing the water can soften up the surface of the clay. Right. Um, Now some of you might be asking, why am I brushing slip on the base when we don't leave the glaze on the base, right? This is a clay, so it does not have as many glass formers as glaze does, right? So this is a very dry surface and makes for a really nice base to inscribe your name. Right, so example, see if I can get this kind of clean. So something like that, right? This is early introduction of the sgraffito process when we come back. And our bowls are dried out, we will carve our designs in here, right? So I think just for fun, I'll carve a loose circle around there, maybe another loose circle. Things don't have to be perfect, right? This is completely off center, built by the hand, right? And I kind of have like an abstracted Z on the base here too, right? Wollert'z Z, right? So just something to begin thinking about, right? We'll have a nice contrast between the white clay and the black slip. So coming back to our slip, making sure things are mixed up. And then I'll continue on brushing the sides. I have a really nice base layer of slip brushed on my base, so I'm not going to brush that on, right? One, because I carved my name into the bottom. I don't want to cover that up now. So remember, we're reintroducing water onto your pot. So if I continue brushing, continue smearing this, that water will etch the clay and remove the slip that you brushed on in the first place, right? So just be careful. I've got some spots over here that need some filling, so dab my brush. And this is where each layer takes just a little bit more time to dry, right? So I'm going to brush almost to my rim. And you can see all these brush marks. Hopefully you can see all these brush marks. You will when you brush them in person at least. So there's a lot of water content in that slip, and it may look like it will leave a textured surface, but what will happen is that water will absorb into your clay body and it will settle. That texture will settle into your coil pot. And I want to flip this over, so I want to be careful can use my newspaper to lift up, placing my hand underneath, my hand on top, right? Commit to flipping. And lightly and gingerly remove your hand. So again, be careful about where you touch, right? And this does not take a lot of slip. You can see how much slip I have left in my container. We're not brushing gobs and gobs of layers of slip on our bowl, right? We just want enough to get a nice contrast with the sgraffito. So with my inside, I brushed horizontally. I brushed around the circumference of it. So it might be good to change my brush stroke and work vertically now. So that will, create a crisp cross pattern on the brush marks and maybe close up any marks that are visible. Right? So starting at the base, working up. And you can brush a pattern in there using these brush strokes, right? I'm getting a nice vertical line from this, and that could lead to a nice finished decoration. And then at the bottom, just swirling around. I'll go back through and finish painting, finish brushing this out, right? Great. So that's the second layer, right? As you can see, I've got a little bit of a drip right here. I'll just lightly brush that out, smooth it, and from here, I'll let it dry. I can put it in front of the fan and then begin carving. So next video, I'll show you guys how to lay down a pattern, right? So from images that you've drawn, images that you've printed out from the internet, from your mind, freehanding, whatever you think would work well with your piece. Okay, we will come back and revisit that. Right? So with my brush and my area, I want to just clean up, right, all these little black little dots, rinsing off my brush, and then placing this water into the rinse buckets. Okay? See you soon.